So today we will be learning work party or we call a stakeholder as well. Okay, but before we go to work party, we will review what we were doing in our last class. Okay, so in our last class, if you remember, we were trying to save data to database table, and then we were trying to use that same data to display in our repeating grid layout. Okay, so to so now today we'll be learning work party. So first we'll go for the definitions. Okay, but before going to the definition also, okay, I'll quickly review our like what POC we were doing. Okay, right? So if you remember, we were doing a leave applications POC where we have a two data model, employee details and then leave details, and then two stage, create stage and approve request stage. Okay, so in approve request, if manager is approving, then we are sending an email for approval. If he is rejecting, then we are sending back the case for that resubmit. Okay, so that is what we were doing. Okay, basically. Okay, and we are learning on this only. So if you remember, we learned multiple topics, like we learned SLA, we learned data page, we learned data transform, and few other things. Okay, so most of the videos are there on my channel. So now today we'll see work party. So let's go and see what is work party. So work party is, okay, whoever gets involved to that case. Okay, so case means like, yes, in Pega we create a case, and that called that is like a work object or case. Okay, it generates a case ID. But anywhere in the world, if you see, like, okay, if you're trying to do a work, okay, then multiple party will be involved. Okay, let's say you are like trying to construct a house. Okay, so then one party will be the owner, the other party will be like kind of a, let's say, uh, who will uh, who will supply the materials, the another party will be who will build that house. So like there can be multiple party involved. Okay, let's say if you're ordering something online, then one party is that you are like trying to order, the other party is, okay, who will be delivering that product. Okay, and then interested party can also be there. Let's say that when you're making an order, okay, you want your like other family member to be interested in your orders, means like what is the status of the order, because let's say if you're not like available on a particular date to receive, they can get that email and then they can also receive those products. Okay, so overall, if I just go if I read the definition of Pega, it's saying a work party represents a person, business or organization that involved in a case. Okay, so as I was saying, okay, let's say you were trying to build up like building. Okay, so when you are making a building, it can be and there can be possibility that some organizations is also involved, not a particular person. So let's say you are like trying to make a contract, okay, for any company who will supply the material, so that can be like a organization, okay, or the company, or he can be a business. So there can be multiple type of work party. It receives correspondence such as, like, now this is like basically the second line is that how we'll use this work party, but overall this is the definitions, that whoever gets involved to any particular work, okay, or a case in Pega. Now type of properties. So as I was explaining, let's say you're trying to build a house or trying to resolve any case, what kind of a party can be involved. Okay, so yes, there can be like individual labor. Okay, there can be a company who will supply that who will supply the resources. There can be non-profit organizations who will also help that. Okay, so there can be multiple type of parties. So in a Pega we have like 5 type of parties which we are using. So company, government, and then operator, and then non-profit and person. Like let's say you need an approval to make your house. Okay, so then government is also a party. Okay, the government is also interested in your day-to-day activities. So those kind of a things is there. So that is like kind of a type of parties which we are using in Pega. Now when we create any case type in Pega, what Pega does is Pega creates a default like rule, pyCaseManagementDefault work party rule. Okay, so that we will review. We'll go to Pega and review. Now the question is where it can be used. Okay, where the work party can be used. So let's say, as I was explaining, that you are trying to construct a house and then government is one of the party. So whatever you are doing in your day-to-day activities, that can be notified, okay, to those parties. So that one of the main example is notifications. Okay, so if I talk in terms of Pega also, one of the main or important like usage of work party is notifications. Second is routing, and then third, yes, we use in other business logics as well. But today we will be seeing this one for notifications, and for routing I'll be explaining that how we can use it, and other business logic little advanced. Once you'll go to our actual development real-time projects, maybe you'll get this option. Now how we can add the work parties, okay, in any case. So there are like three ways we can add. Okay, so the first one is that like Pega creates a default rule, as I was saying, right, that py case management default. So using that one, while case creations we can add it. Okay, so we'll review this one. Second one is that Pega have provided few out of the box activity. Using that also we can add the work party. And then third, from the UI also we can add that. Okay, let's say from the UI, like you have an access to a case, okay, and suddenly you realize that, okay, I want, like, if you have raised a leave request, let's say if I talk about this only, okay, and then it's waiting for that approval, and then suddenly your manager thinks, or you thinks that, okay, I want to add my director also as interested party, so that he'll also get notified. So that can be added from the user interface. Okay, so now let's go to Pega and review these things. So first we'll review how we can add that, like, work parties from the app studio. Okay, one more things here I want to highlight, which is very important. So if you see, I marked operator as a bold and then highlighted with the yellow color. Why I have done that is that operator means this operator, like this ID exists in Pega, okay, in applications, but for other things they doesn't exist in Pega. Like company, like it can be like you can have some details, but there is no like ID to log in as a company, no ID to log in as a government. Okay, but operator, yes, you'll have the ID. Let's say that if you're an employee and trying to raise a leave request, you'll have ID in Pega to log in. Okay, but for the others you don't have. So let's go back and see that. So we'll navigate it to App Studio. So now, so we are in App Studio. If I'll go to settings, okay, so again, so we called work parties, somewhere we call stakeholders, and then participants. Okay, so participants is also work party. So now if you see here, okay, as I was explaining that applications users means basically that operator ID. So wherever it has been marked as a yes, okay, that means we are using type of work party or type of operator. Okay, so if you see here, the customer is saying no, in initiator is saying no, and interested is saying no. Okay, so now we'll go back, we'll click on this. So from here what we can do, okay, so role has the user account with this application. So from here we can configure. Okay, so if you want to change the role name, we can change the role name also. And then here we have selected create participants automatically when the case starts. So let's say you want to create automatically when case starts 2 or 3, that also we can do. Okay, there is no restriction, so we can add as many as party we want. Okay, let's say initiator is there, I want to add honor also. Okay, so honor and initiator is same, but like I'm just showing you. Okay, we can, how we can do that. Okay, make map participants. Okay, if you want to do map participants current user, so here you can see that we are not getting much options here. It's a very simple options because App Studio is mostly for that citizen developer. But if I just switch to Dev Studio, we'll see these are the these things in a different format. So here it's like participants is a current user. Yes, I can say as a current users. Okay, so that's how we can add that. Okay, work party from the App Studio, and we can save it. Now let's go back to Dev Studio and see the same, the UI. Okay, the same data. Okay, how it will present in that Dev Studio. Okay, so I'll navigate it to Dev Studio and see it will change little bit in a technical terms. Okay, so if I go to my case and go to settings and refresh and go to participants, here you can see that, okay, that things is gone, like, okay, that operator exists in, like, or that user or the role exists in application. Now similar to that one, instead of that one we got a type. Okay, so see here it's a type of operator, that means this exists in Pega application. If I select customer, it's saying person, that means it doesn't exist. Okay, and then honor also it doesn't exist. See, honor sorry, honor, yes, we selected, it exists. Okay, so it's saying honor we created like from the App Studio, but interested, if I see, it's a person. So you can see that, right? And then also like how we want to create, so we want to create a new party, like Pega have a given data transform. Okay, and we can override this data transform and we can fill the value. So you can see that like it's a kind of so the class of that party is data party. And then if I go here, data party. If I just select data party, so then this is the default class for the party, and then rest of them are like the government, operator, org, and person. So if you want to use that, we can just save as to any of one of these class and fill the data, okay, and then it will get added, and then same data transform can be plugged here, okay, in place of current operator and in place of a new party, okay. So that is how we can create it. Now if I, so as I was saying that, okay, for each it will create a default like work party. So this is basically coming from that place only, so where we can see that actual rule, okay, because work party is a rule type in our application or in Pega. So you can go to apply leave and then click on the work parties. If I go work parties, see here we'll find that work party. So see, we have added honor also, and then apply leave honor as a current operator. So let's see what it has done. See, it is setting that work party URI from that requester page. Requester page is a system page. From there it is taking that user identity setting, so that will get initiated, okay. And then here few more things is that required and other things, and this options is basically that it will create a work party on like on creation of a case, okay. And required means that minimum like if I'm selecting one is required, then minimum that work party is required to resolve that case. Okay, now we learn on a high level that what is work party, okay, how we can configure from the app studio or from the dev studio, and then also we saw the rule, okay, and that rule can be found inside that our case type class, and then process, and then inside the work parties. Now how we can use it, okay. So as I was saying that we can use it for the routing purpose, and we can also use it for notification. So let's see how we can use for routing purpose. I'll not show that 100%, but I'll just show you, okay, how we can configure. So let's say here we have set that routing, okay, to route it to current user operator. But let's say we want to use that to like work party for the routing purpose. So then we need to select custom. Here we can select custom, and then from the then we can select the work list, because yes, we are going to route to a person, okay. And then we can, it can be a work queue also, okay, but it will depend like how you want to route, okay. So let's say I'm for now I'm selecting to work list, okay. And then in the router, so router is basically the router activity, we can select to work party, to work party, okay. And then we can give that party. So party is basically role, okay. Party is basically role, so we can give, let's say, honor or initiator, something like that here, okay. Then Pega will route it to that person, okay. Basically here will an assignment type most of the time we'll use as a operator only, because work party yes, in case of organization I don't know how it will work, but mostly we use routing when the operator already exists in Pega. I don't think we'll be able to route, okay, to those work party which is not available, obviously, because they cannot work on it, okay. So in that case most of the time it will be work list only, and then we can give the role party role. We'll see how the work party property looks, okay. So work party property which holds that, okay, is a page group type of property. So let me show you that. So if I open any case, we'll see that how work party gets added to any case. So if I open py work page, inside py work page we can see there is a page group type of property. So page group is type property means that it's a kind of a page list only, but the index will be a text, okay. So subscript, so you can see here the subscript is the honor, okay. So that is like the index. In case of a page list we give an index of 1 2 3 4, but here it will be like kind of a like a text, some text, okay. So here that honor, so that is what sometimes we call the party role, okay, or the party or the role. So like in different places you can see the different options. So while routing we saw that it was showing party, some places will see that role, okay, but everything is same, okay. Now if I open in a dev studio that property, it's a, as I was saying, it's a page group type of property. So let me show you work party. Okay, so if I open here, see it is inheritance. So the definition is data party, as I was saying, okay. And in the runtime, if it is operator, it will take data party operator. If it is a person, it will take data party person, okay. Let me show you that also. If I show here, this party belongs to operator, so then class of this is data party operator. So we just on a high level we saw that how we can use it for routing. Yes, we can use it routing, like we can configure for routing, okay, by selecting custom, and then we can select to work party, okay. The most important things was how we can use for the notifications, okay. So let's say that we are creating a leave request, and then it is going for manager approval. Once manager is approving, we want to notify to owner, okay. How we can do that, okay. So here if you see the flow, okay, we have configured if it is approved, then we are sending approve email, and then if it is reject, we are sending a reject email. So let's see that. If you remember in our last classes, we tried to add that email, and we were giving that like to send email, we were trying to give like email address, hard-coded email address, but that will not work in a real time, okay. Why it will not work? Because you'll be creating applications for entire organizations, not for particular person, okay. So then that email id should get populated dynamically, okay. In that case, we can select the work party, okay, work party. So here see, as I was saying, Pega will show multiple options in different places for the same work party. So here it is saying participant, somewhere it is saying party, somewhere it is saying role. So participants, and then we can select which participant. So we can select initiator. Now you can ask a question that, okay, if I am selecting participants, how how come it will send, how it will send an email? So what happens, work party holds that entire details of that party, okay. So what details can have any party, okay. Let's say if I'm if I'm creating a case, okay, like I'm an employee, so I have details, okay. So my entire details will get saved as a work party. Entire details means like the basics details, like first name, last name, my operator id, or that the employee id, you can say, okay, because employee id and then operator id can be the same. Then my email address. So then what Pega will do, Pega will go to that work party and take the email address from there, and then it will send it, okay. So let's see here. So you can see here that we have owner as a one work party, and here we have those details. See, last name is there, full name is there, first name is there, and email id is there, okay. So all basic details is there, even your phone number is there. So if you want to send a mobile notification, so if you want to send a text, that can be used from here, okay. So that is how dynamically we can use the work party. So let's see, if I am raising the request, okay, then it will take that person in that initiator email id. If someone else is doing, then it will take the email id of that person, okay. So that is how we can use it. So this is very much important, and I hope with this lesson at least you learn this one and try to do it, okay. So how you can add the email, send email SIP? So basically you have to go to click on plus here to add SIP, and then go to send email, okay, and select that one. And then here basically it's a very simple, you need to select the participants and give that which participants you want to send an email, and then you can write your subject and then message, okay. So that is how we can configure that. Now what I'll do, I'll create a leave request, okay, and once the manager will approve, we can see that if the same email address is getting, like if Pega is trying to send that email to the same person. So let's review the email address of this person. So this email address of this person is samit.singh@gmail.com. Now I'll create a case, okay. So I'll quickly create a case. I'll just fill some data here. Now this case went for approval to manager. So I've already logged in with manager. Okay, I think looks like not. So I can quickly log in. I think I had. Okay, let me do it. Okay, but before going and approving from the manager, okay, the first the first work party, I was talking that the one way, okay, the first way on creation of a case. So let's see, on creation of a case, two of the work party should have got created. So you can see in that work party, so if you are using a theme Cosmos portal, we can see that here in a stakeholder area we have already added two. So usually we don't add multiple for the same, but I just showed you, okay, as a different role we have added. So one first as a owner and as this second was initiator. Okay, so we can delete one, we can go to our case type and delete this one, but this is just an example, okay, to show you. Now if I show you that case and go to that one, here we should see that inside the work party we should see the two work party, owner and then initiator. The details is same because it's populating from the login operator. Okay, so so it's that is where it's the same. Now let's go ahead and approve that case. Okay, so we have that 2001, that case number. So I'll click on go and I'll just approve it. Okay, so the moment I'll approve it, okay, what I'm doing, okay, once that manager is approving, I'm adding manager also in work party, so that we will review after this one. Okay, so that also come here, and also one email address will be sent out. Okay, and that will get attached here in that document section. So let me just finish it. Okay, so now you can see that leave request is approved, got added, like, okay, or basically system is trying to send an email. Okay, and here that the same email address, so it took from that my that person, okay, who is creating that leave request. Okay, and then Amit Singh, this manager, is also got added. See here. Okay, now we'll see how this is getting added. Okay, so if I let's say for a minute, let's think that this manager, so this operator is also trying to create a leave request. Okay, so if I do that, then the details of this one will get added. Okay, so let's see here that, see, Amit Singh got added, and if I just approve it with this user, then his email address will get added. So basically I just did it quickly, okay, with the same operator. So even I created the request and approved it. So see here, it took that the amit.singh@gmail.com. So you can see that how the system is taking dynamically when we are using work party, when and we have not hard coded that email address. Okay, now one more thing I showed, that yes, how we can add that. Okay, how we can add that another work party. Okay, so I was saying that yes, we can add the work party from the activity. So this is the second point. Okay, so let's review that one. Okay, so out of the box we have like few activity. So one of them I'm using. So here if you see add party, so I have dropped like a utility save, and then using PartyAddOperator. So PartyAddOperator takes two parameters, that what is that operator ID. So here I have just given manager as a hard coded value, but if you are using, or if you are working in a real-time system, it will be like, it will come from dynamically, okay, from some attribute, and then role, either it can be hard coded or it can be, that also can be dynamic. Okay, so that is how it is adding. Okay, because the moment I'm approving, the manager details is getting added, you can see here. Okay, so if I just go and review this 2001 case, this one, okay, so this is already resolved. So we should see that three party, see, Amit Singh also came, and if I just go and show here in the clipboard, see, we can see three: owner, initiator, and manager. Okay, so that is how we can add it. Now the last one I want to show you, that how we can add it. We can add it from the UI also. So I'll quickly go ahead and create a request, and let's say we want to add our director also as a stakeholder to this case as interested party. So where we can, how we can add it. So there is one way is to add it from the new harness, but in theme Cosmos portal we are not using new harness. So here we can come to stakeholders, to gear icon, and select what kind of a party we want to add. So we can just say interested, because your director will be just interested, he will not involved to that case. Okay, so I can just select, let's say, director, and just submit it. So then see, it got added. So if I show you again the clipboard page, we can see three work party. So one is initiator, one second. So here if I go here, then we can see owner, initiator, and then interested. So see, it got added, and details of that director got added. So this is how we can add the work party from the UI. Okay, few more details. As I was saying, so if you remember in last classes I told, okay, that like if you see here the clipboard, okay, this details is getting stored in a blob, okay, because work_party is a page group property. It's not a single value property. It's a storing multiple data, okay. So then if you need the reporting, how you can do it, okay. So the one way is you can create your table, okay, and save the data if you need it, okay. Or like in the last class I was saying that we can create a declare index also in Pega. So this is out of the box property, pyWorkParty. So Pega have already created, okay, our index class, okay. So what basically index class is, okay, this class, what will happen whenever we are adding any work_party, Pega will automatically add a entry to this table, okay. So if I just search with 2003, so we can see here we have a 3 work_party, so 3 rows are there here. So from this table we can do the reporting. And how it works is that like index works is that if you're adding any entry to this pyWorkParty, so basically this index is working on that pyWorkParty property. So whenever any entry is getting added to that work_party, then it is getting added to this table. If you're deleting from this property, then it will get deleted also. So now all the details are stored in this one. Details are not stored in blobs, so it's easy to do a reporting, because sometimes like management can ask, okay, give me all the person or the work_party details who have worked on this particular case, something like that, okay. So in that kind of a scenario we can use this work_party, okay. We'll review this, how we can create an index and other things, but I just showed you on a high level that how we have created indexes on pyWorkParty. How you can, where you can see that indexes, if you just go to sysadmin and then declare index, okay, click on declare index, and then if you see, we should have something on the party URI. See, we have party URI and party URI, and that and it works like we'll see which property has been referred. So see, pyWorkParty means whenever this property will change, okay, in our case, then Pega will automatically fire and update this property to that table, okay, declare underscore work_party URI table. So that is like a little advanced details, but the main things which I want you to do a POC is to create a case, okay, change that like the party label, okay, or the party role from the either from the App Studio or from the Dev Studio in the case type. Okay, select this options like create participants automatically when the case starts, and use that party to send an email, okay. I know like maybe that your like SMTP server is not set up, but like what Pega will do, if you're using send email, it will just add that into attachment, okay. So if you at least learn this much also with this class, I think that's enough, okay, for a beginner, okay. You don't need much, okay. Over the time you learn how you can use that work_party in other ways, okay. So that's it for this today's class, okay. And if you have any doubt, okay, you can post in comment section, okay. So thank you very much, have a good day.